Welcome to The Advocate, a program that thrashes out all the topical issues of the day.
When you are in government, you don't see nothing wrong with whatever is happening. The moment you are out there, everything is wrong.
You can't even see many women now, and when they're there, they're not even really making a mark, and then they have an NYSC problem and this and that.
One of the reasons why we don't have more women in politics in Nigeria is for as long as political meetings continue to take place in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
Really disastrous for a president
to even say
be unaware of the chief
It's
justice.
a ploy. It could be a strategy.
That strategy was very terrible strategy. Because the buck stops at your table.
Whether it's that we don't look after our cities, and quite frankly, Nigeria is becoming a very ugly place.
When you are the only one feeding the people with this news, and there is nobody countering them, it becomes, the news.
Unless you know what you're looking for, there's a risk that you may not find it. The world needs heroes. Nigeria certainly does. In fact, whoever manages to point the way out of our country's quagmire will undoubtedly be tagged a hero. However, my submission on today's Advocate is that the heroes we need are already in our midst. They could even be you or I. I call them accidental heroes. Recently, I found myself in a place of reflective stillness as I heard the story of Adedamola Roberts, a 5-time national gold medalist in swimming. He was born with Down syndrome. He accidentally found himself in a position to represent Nigeria during the Special Olympics because his mother, who was looking for an avenue to direct her son in, seized the opportunity to train him in swimming. Till then, all she knew was that he liked water, like every other child. She then engaged her driver from Ekene, Abayomi Anifowose, Ireti will correct my pronunciation later, whose one qualification as a trainer was that, after all, people from Ekene can swim before they can walk. And just like that, as if by accident, her driver ended up becoming a coach to a 5-time gold Olympics champion and accompanying him around the world. You probably see 3 accidental heroes in this tale. Adedamola, our Special Olympics champion, Abayomi, the driver turned coach, and Adedamola's mother, Alera Roberts. But make no mistake, there are many more besides. Adedamola's dad, for example, Sheyi Roberts, though not mentioned, the various sponsors of the Special Olympics program, and so on. Accidental heroes are those who chance upon a need and in their inadequacy offer up the much they can, only to be amazed that their little was somehow sufficient to get the job done and to lift others to greatness. So, I say we can all be accidental heroes that our nation is gasping for.
Oh, I love this. I so totally love this topic. Actually, I don't know whether anyone, the minute you said accidental hero, that film always comes to mind. What's his name? Oh, Flip. I've forgotten. Suddenly, I remembered his name. I meant to write it and I've forgotten where he becomes an accidental hero. He's a dad who has no money, who's on the streets, and it becomes an accidental hero because a plane crashes in front of him and he ends up helping out, and then suddenly his life changes and he's able to get, because he was never able to see his child because he didn't have any money. America now. You're one street, when you don't have money, you don't get to see your child. So yes, that was one. So the story of Adedamola Roberts, oh my word, how beautiful, how wonderful, and why don't we know enough about him? Why isn't he all over our newspaper? But this is the same thing that happened with Stella Adadevola. It took so long for her to be given an award, a posthumous award by, and I still think we need to have the Stella Adadevola Day, that it reminds us of our humanity, because the Moshood Abiola Day reminds us of democracy, which is politics. I think Stella Adadevola Day should remind us of our humanity, and we need to have that. I think you're right in the sense that every single one of us, irrespective of where we are, and some of the heroes that I've seen often don't come from anything. They're often people who have had nothing, but they're willing to share the very little they have, either from their hearts. So, I like to think of people in terms of generosity. So it's either generous in conversation, generous with love, generous with kindness, and things like that. And you often see that a lot with people who don't necessarily have and who have had to suffer a lot, but they will share on the streets and just, and just remind you of humanity.
My position on this is you can predict it. Don't let government choose your heroes for you.
You and government.
Yes. No, I agree. what you're saying sometimes is that, ability or disability meets opportunity, and someone who is strong enough to take charge or hold of it. Those are the real heroes, and they're all over the place, but we don't get to know them
about
because,
them, so she's right.
we're all waiting for official channels to recognize heroes or give them awards or point them to us. We should look for.
Don't you think the
unusual
press is
places.
letting us down, though? Because I always say there was a recent heroic act a couple of weeks ago in Nigeria. I can't remember, and we all kept looking, trying to find in the paper whether the papers were going to cover it. And do you remember that?
Yeah.
And it wasn't covered. It should be on this front page. I can't remember. Something happened.
Who is press these days?
Yeah.
If you find one,
good point.
report on your platform. Facebook.
So, my point is that as Rachel, you were trying to allude to a movie you saw, An Accidental Hero. And I think that in countries like America, Western civilization, have actually, I think it's part of their DNA, social DNA.
They're looking for
opportunities to be heroes and to make heroes.
Yeah.
But in our society, it's almost like the opposite. We question
heroism.
Yes. And we ridicule.
Yes.
I mean, little stories of even people returning monies and doing things like that. People who find monies at airports and things like that. We ridicule them. And again, back to Marlene's point, where we have this expectation that it's your government that should point out heroes when we know that our challenge is
anti-hero.
Yes, it's anti-us, let alone
so that's a big challenge. And I think the media, today's media, social media, and the creative industry, especially the movies, a sector which I have a passion for. We should do a better job because you don't see documentaries about anything. You don't see. We have everyday heroes, and I think we need to. As part of our not just telling us stories about the people fighting over land in parts of the villages, but also sharing stories of documenting even this. I hadn't brought it up.
So
we need to find points of inspiration.
The thing is, they are accidental heroes, and if the word accidental, I think maybe when you get to understand what it really means, it's almost like it's got the hand of God in it. So you don't even know you're going to be an accident.
That's right. You just react.
Really. You react and you're in a small place, but the thing just goes beyond that small place. I always keep saying that my favorite money in Nigeria is the 50 naira note. Apart from the fact, because I'm a designer, I'm an architect, I find it absolutely well designed, first of all, and the color is beautiful, blue color. There's no human beings in it that we know. Just some odd human beings, middle belt lady, whatever. I can't stand other notes in Nigeria because I see no reason why we have everybody. In fact, there's only one or two people that I just haven't been able to pin them down, that this is why they should remove them from the notes. And that's Ikoku and...
that should be your next job. But let me say finally that we should remove the word accidental from heroes.
And just say heroes.
Well, I think the accidental is important.
It's important so that we can get ourselves away.
What I'm saying is that you qualify heroes as accidental. You make the mistake of reducing their importance and relevance.
My hero, there's a point there.
There's a point in what he's saying.
My hero is my hero.
Yes, he's not by accident.
He's not by accident.
Place at the right time. I'll just make a very quick reference. I know we're out of time. That the driver, I heard it from Lera Roberts. She told me the story, and I just was transfixed. But she said that the driver, the thing that reminded, when the driver finally was going to Los Angeles with this boy the first time, he said the driver walked across and it dawned on him. He never had a passport lesson. He said he came back and just prostrated on the floor in front of her. It's just amazing. Like, this guy is now a coach to a 5 times gold medalist.
So anyway. And I can't even swim. Look at that.
Are you from Ekene?
I'm from Ikore too.
That's why now.
We're next door to each other. What are you talking about?
Not too late.
You're from, we're trying.
Anyway, no sooner did we get into gear than we arrived at our destination. We're relying on you to cover even more mileage, though. Do keep your comments coming in on our social media platforms. On Facebook, Plus TV Africa, #TheAdvocateNG. Or on Twitter and Instagram at Plus TV Africa, #TheAdvocateNG. Till next week, same time, let's keep advocating for a better society. Bye-bye. Welcome to The Advocate, a program that thrashes out all the topical issues of the day.
When you are in government, you don't see nothing wrong with whatever is happening. The moment you are out there, everything is wrong.
You can't even see many women now, and when they're there, they're not even really making a mark, and then they have an NYSC problem and this and that.
One of the reasons why we don't have more women in politics in Nigeria is for as long as political meetings continue to take place in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
Really disastrous for a president
to even say
to be unaware of the chief
It's
justice.
a ploy. It could be a strategy.
That strategy was
Backfired.
terrible strategy, because the buck stops at your table.
Whether it's that we don't look after our cities, and quite frankly, Nigeria is becoming a very ugly place.
When you are the only one feeding the people with this news, and there is nobody countering them, it becomes, the news.